All right, well, we're here actually just right by our campsite, and I stumbled across these wildflowers, and I thought I would set up to get a nice close-up macro shot on it. And basically what I'm doing is I'm shooting with the Sony 24 to 105 at 70 millimeters, and I'm just going to do a little bit of focus stacking on the flowers themselves. And I don't know, let's see what we can come up with. All right, here we are in Lightroom where I've imported these wildflower photos, and I just wanted to show you how I do my photo focus stacking technique. So for this particular image, I just did 3 photographs of this wildflower. Normally you want to take between 5 and 10 depending on your lens and other variables, but for this tutorial I just wanted to do 3. So you'll see this first one, I've got kind of the first front part of the flower in focus. For this second, I've kind of got the bottom part of the flower in focus. And for the third one, I kind of have the middle part of the flower in focus. So what I did is I did some basic adjustments on the file just to make it kind of look the way I wanted. I increased the exposure, my whites, pulled my whites up, pulled my blacks down, just some basic stuff. And then I just right clicked on that. I copied the develop settings, and then I highlighted all 3 photos by holding down Control and clicking on them. And then I right click and I do develop settings, paste develop settings. So once we do that, we can go ahead and pull them into Photoshop. So you just right click, edit in, and do edit in or open as layers in Photoshop. It's going to pull all 3 of those files into Photoshop as layers. Another program I like to use is Helicon Focus, but I don't currently have a license for that one right now. All right, so once the photos are pulled into Photoshop as layers, you can see the layers over here on the far right. I'm just going to highlight all 3 of those layers by shift clicking on the bottom layer, and then I'm going to align the layer. That's the first step. So I'm going to go to Edit and Auto Align Layers. Just keep everything on auto. It'll take a few seconds to align them up and make sure that they're all matched up. Then the next thing you're going to do is go to Edit and Auto Blend Layers. You're going to keep it on Stack and keep it on Seamless Tones and Colors. Hit OK. Depending on how many files you use, this might take a little bit of time, and also depends on the power of the computer that you're using. I currently have 64 gigs of RAM, and I'm working on a pretty new build here, so it's going to do a pretty quick job of this particular task. And these are Sony A7R4 files, so they're fairly high in resolution as well. Alright, so once they're completed, you can see that all the photos look really nice and well focused. Everything looks nice and sharp. The next thing you'll notice is that there's a little bit of weird border that's created because of the stacking and the layering. So I just like to use the crop tool, keep it on the original ratio, and just kind of crop out all of that weird stuff and hit enter. It's going to crop the file. Then we're just going to save it, and it's going to save it and re-import it back into Lightroom. Once in the Lightroom, what I did is I edited it in black and white, and I used the radial filter just to kind of add some emphasis to the middle part and kind of a vignette to darken the outer part of the edge. And then I also used a adjustment brush to really just paint in different adjustments to really darken those edges and really just put the emphasis on the eye on the actual wildflower itself. Well, I hope you found that to be helpful. All right, well, thanks for tuning in this week and listening to my tutorial on focus stacking. As you can see here, I am loading up my rooftop tent. I have since gotten rid of this rooftop tent. You can really just see how long it takes me to take this thing down. Literally takes about 15 minutes to pack this thing up. Anyways, don't recommend getting a soft shell rooftop tent. I recommend a hard shell rooftop tent. Maybe I'll do another little YouTube on that as well. Well, thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe and comment and like, and let me know if there's any other types of videos or tutorials you'd like to see. Thanks again.